We are back. We are in Alabama. We survived. The four of us, two kids, young kids, and my wife and I living out of suitcases for 11 weeks, traveling to tons of countries. I cannot tell you how many buses, trains, planes, taxis, walking with our Chevrolet legs. We were all over the place. It was absolutely wild. There were moments of incredible joy, life experiences that we will remember forever. My kids will remember forever, hopefully. And then there are moments where we were brought to our knees and just absolutely at the highest level of stress that we could be at without snapping and going crazy. What a summer. And I'm so happy to be back and to be able to report some of the stuff that's going on in our ministry. I am still struggling to get back on the Central Time Zone. I don't know what time it is over there right now, but it's late and I'm tired. So please forgive me. I'm just praying that God would speak through me for the next few minutes so that I can give you just a snapshot of what God is up to through our ministry. And it's a lot. It is a lot. I can maybe share with you about 20% of it. And so here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. Let you know first and foremost, Show Me Your Glory, our film, continues to just be mind-blowingly fruitful. You know, we can bear no fruit apart from Him. We know that He's doing this thing. This is God moving through technology, moving through this movie. It's just unbelievable what He's doing through it. In a few months, I'll be preaching in front of tens of thousands of people in the Middle East and in South America. And man, I'll preach in front of 5 people. I don't necessarily care about the numbers. I'm just going to be faithful to do what God has asked me to do. If He tells me to go to one person that's sitting on the side of the street who's homeless, I'm going to preach to that person. If He tells me to go preach to a crowd of 1 million, I'm going to do that. That is the definition of success in ministry, is to be faithful, to obey the Lord. Trust Him and obey what He tells you to do, and just be faithful to do that. But let me tell you, technology is wild. I guess it was a year and some change ago. I spent like 45 minutes making this like 2 or 3 minute video. I was teaching about the biblical precedent for Sabbath, for rest, what Jesus has to say about what it's about. It's something I struggle with deeply, have forever, always have. And it's something that God has just been really impressing upon my heart. Well, I spent like 45 minutes making this thing. And at this point, it has somewhere between 2 and 4 million watches. I'm not just talking about people clicking on it and watching a couple of seconds. I mean, they watch this thing. Can you imagine that? 45 minutes of prayer and work. You record this thing, and then while you're asleep, people are watching it. While you're going for a run, people are watching it. While you're eating a meal, people are watching it. Technology is so profound, and that once you've created this thing, it continues to work for the glory of God. It continues to help build the kingdom. Now, I'm probably like you. I hate social media. I feel like technology in so many ways is a tool of the enemy, right? It's creating little narcissists everywhere. They're worried about clicks, likes, and shares. Like, oh man, look at me, look at me, look at me. Everywhere they go, whether it's on vacation or whether it's doing ministry work, it's like, look at me and look at what God's doing through me. Me, right? It can be so evil and so annoying. We also see the smut and all the things that the enemy is using technology for and how detrimental it is to our society. It's rotting our kids' brains and doing so many terrible things. But on the other hand, how wild is it that there are territories, geographical locations where because of technology, because of film, the gospel is sneaking into these places. There are little flash drives being flown into North Korea with helium balloons and dropped into the hands of people that have never heard about Jesus. There are flash drives being passed around in Islamic republics where you could get in big trouble for having what's on these flash drives, preaching the gospel unashamedly. Technology is a beautiful thing, and that when you put time and energy into it and it's from God, God breathes into this thing just like our movie, it's unbelievable what it can do. Well, we have finished our release in Indonesia. It played 64 times in 39 million households. The amount of people that called in was in the six figures. It was well over 100,000 people called in after watching the movie. We've recorded some of those testimonies. We'll share just a couple of them with you, but the film made a tremendous impact and reached countless millions of people. We'll never know. Maybe never. Maybe even in heaven, we won't know all the impact that it had, which is another thing that's crazy about technology. We don't always get to see all the fruit. We just get little glimpses here and there, like, oh man, this thing's kicking butt. It's doing good things. We've also secured distribution as of recent in Iran. Our film is going to play in Iran. I'll pause for a second, take a drink of water, wrap your brain around that. In the middle of the war, people are going to get to hear testimonies of the Lord and hear the gospel. Our film will be played in Pakistan, Greece, all over the UK, Spain, other places in Europe, a total of 169 countries just from one distributor. There are other distributors. I've included some maps so you can see some of the overlay of where this broadcasting is going to reach. We're also talking to one of the main film distributors in Brazil. We're going to be doing some great events there, but there's an opportunity that we might be able to play it in Brazil on a big scale. It will be in select theaters in Singapore, all over Singapore and the Philippines. I can go on. We have these huge distribution opportunities, and then Cameron and I have also had these opportunities to travel and go to these showings where we get to minister to people after the movie's over. We're praying for people to be healed. We've seen miraculous healings at these events. Praying for people to be delivered. We've seen deliverances happen at these events. We've seen salvation decisions at these events. We've seen people healed on the inside, forgiving those that have harmed them, learning to trust God again, even though they've been through tremendous suffering. It's just incredible. I've got some pictures I can show you of just a couple of the events, but we have another team led by Jeff and his wife Belin and a couple of other amazing soldiers. These folks are helping us get the film internationally through their organization called Soil and Story. So my wife and I are doing it, hitting areas that they're not, and they're out doing it as well. And at this point, there's honestly too much going on to keep track of all of it. We're just trying to get it as far and wide as possible. Another thing to celebrate is India. My last update, I talked about some of the amazing work that's going on there. It just blows my mind that we can go into these villages out in the middle of nowhere. They speak a lot of times a different language, like Telugu, and they've never heard the name of Jesus. It's not like, oh yeah, I've heard the gospel, I've heard Jesus. Like, no, they've never heard that name. We get to share Jesus with them. And our motto with Abba Heart Ministries, when possible, is to share the gospel with deeds. And then we've earned the right to share it with words. And so in this particular tribe, for example, these people were dying. They're sick because they've never had clean water. They're drinking really contaminated water. For a very small amount of money, we're able to put in a water well, and they are now drinking clean water. And the level of joy is tremendous. More than that, their level of trust. Okay, why are these people spending money on us and giving us clean water and showing us so much love? I really want to know. Well, let me tell you. We'll tell you exactly why we're doing it. And so we're leading in the darkest places with love in action, and then we're earning the right to share the greatest love story ever told, which is the gospel. In Pakistan, we're making tremendous leaps in our campaigns to start a church in the slave factory district of Lahore. And I reported last time that was our goal, is to build some apartments and to build a church. Well, that's happening. It is under construction. Now we're trying to get the funding to build a school so these children that are slaves, or even the ones that have been freed, can get an education without being forced to conform to Islam. And so we are well underway. We are building a church that will have a roof. It won't get rained out anymore. There won't be rocks thrown from the roofs by angry Muslims that want to hurt our people. And then we'll have these apartments, so when we free slaves and they're not able to go home, because a lot of them have converted to Christ, they've chosen to leave Islam. So to Islam, they are apostates, and they can be killed for that. And so they can't go home. But we have these halfway houses, these apartments they can live in until we get them on their feet. We teach them a skill, craft, or trade. It's really awesome. And so we're pretty excited about that project. This is a new one, hot off the press. I can't share much with you about this, very confidential. I am not even going to be able to report a lot of the fruit and a lot of the things that are going on, a lot of the details, because we want to keep these folks safe. But we have the privilege, Abba Heart Ministries has the privilege of partnering with undercover missionaries in Somalia who God rescued. He gave them dreams and visions. They had radical experiences. I can't give too many things away, where they have given their life to Christ. They apostated, left Islam, and they had to flee Somalia in order to survive, because their family had basically planned a mercy killing to kill them because they had apostated. And so now they're living undercover in a country I cannot disclose. We are partnered with them, and God has seen fit to give them tremendous influence through media and technology to be able to preach the gospel and to speak to people in Somalia. They have a huge ministry in Somalia. I'm talking millions of people in Somalia. God is winning souls through this technology in a huge way. And if you don't know, Somalia is one of the ugliest, most dangerous places on the planet. It's a fact. Look it up. Have you ever seen the movie Black Hawk Down? You've seen the story about Mogadishu and all that? Like, that's really what Somalia is still like. It is a Lord of the Flies kind of place. And through technology and through these folks that we have the privilege of locking arms with, we're able to preach the gospel in another dark, dark place. I mean, can you imagine if we can get Show Me Your Glory through these channels for millions of people to see in Somalia? That'd be wild. Like, that's up there with it showing in Iran. So please be praying for them. I'll update you in as often as I can in ways that don't disclose too much, but I'm excited about it. Be praying for them, please. And with that, last but not least, is walkabouts. We are currently about to enter into our very last walkabout of the season. Believe it or not, the summer camp season has almost ended. I'm so pumped about it. What's really great is to see the guys I've poured into for a while are now leading it. We've got second, third, fourth generation people leading it, and I'm more and more hands off, and yet it continues to grow. The traditions are staying alive. It's expanding. It's still rich. We have had salvation decisions and baptisms this summer, although I will argue that that's not the gold standard metrics for metric for measuring success in ministry. I would say it's multiplying disciples, and Walkabout does just that. We pour into fatherless young men. We raise them up into godly men through godly mentorship, and we see them being discipled and discipling others, and we see them multiplying, raising them up into leadership, and now the organization is being run by some of these guys. So it's a wonderful thing that continues. I'm so happy about it. As God has expanded our ministry, I was crying out to him like, Lord, please don't let this end. Please don't. It's my baby. It's what we cut our teeth on. We really believe in it, and he's seen fit to allow it to continue, and I'm really thankful for that. Things to pray for. Continue to pray for SMYG. Pray for doors to continue to fly open. Pray against the enemy who is trying to thwart these efforts in so many ways, through greed, through Islam, through all kinds of things. There is an obvious attack from the enemy against our efforts with this movie. So please be praying for protection and God's favor and his hand to be upon it. And then last but not least, I am about to enter into a season where I'm going to be working on my dissertation. I'm excited about it. It doesn't feel like a homework assignment. It feels like a calling. It is going to be a magnum opus that I believe is going to make a tremendous difference in the world of discipleship as we know it. I really believe that. I believe it's from the Lord. So I'm excited about it. And if you could just join me by praying. I want to be under the influence of the Holy Spirit as I'm writing and reading. I want everything to be undergirded by the Holy Scriptures. and I want it to be easy to understand so that any Tom or Joe off the street can pick this thing up and read it and be inspired to seek the face of God and spend quality time with Him and build that into their lives. So I'm really excited about it. As always, I would not be doing my job if I didn't invite you to be a part of what we're doing. I think it's an incredible ministry that God is truly moving through. Our overhead is less than 5%, 6% of our budget. And so over 94.88, I believe is what it is, 94.88% of all the money donated to our ministry goes directly to mission. Our ministry is reaching tens, probably hundreds of millions of people with the gospel, with the testimonies of the Lord, with the Word of God. And not only that, but we're also in the weeds. I like to say we're in the trenches, and we're also at 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet with technology. We're in the trenches with a lot of the hands-on ministry that we do, where we're getting to feed the hungry. We're getting to give water to those who are thirsty. We're able to care for the poor and care for the sick and the orphan and the widow. We're getting to do so many beautiful things that are precisely what God's heart is about. If you read Matthew 25, the difference between the sheep and the goats was that we're called to serve people as if we're serving Jesus Himself. If Jesus was a starving homeless person sitting on the side of the street, how would we take care of him? And that's what He calls us to do. And I don't know at what point in the West the gospel became bifurcated to where you had this preach the gospel somehow separated from be the good Samaritan. And that preaches the gospel, that earns the right to hear the words of the gospel, the good news of the gospel. Those two were always meant to be together. And we have the privilege of building our ministry around that concept, to bring the gospel to the ends of the earth and the darkest places through word and deed. And I just love it if you would join us in that. We will steward what you donate with excellence and with integrity. Thank you so much for watching. Again, we are so thankful for you, for your prayers and your support, your encouragement, your friendship. I don't want to make these videos just to raise money. Like, that's not my purpose. My purpose is not just to do this because that's a part of what I'm supposed to do as the executive director of this ministry. I make these videos because the people on the other end of this camera, the ones that are going to watch this, I love you, and I want you to come along with us as we do this. We have a lot of work to do. If you turn on the news, it's very obvious that time is running out, and it's so tempting to just let the days fly by, and we exist in monotony and very little fruit's produced, and we don't do much. But if we would resolve, if we would commit to every day doing a little, you could do that by partnering with us in prayer, sending encouragement, sending money, whatever it is. If we could all commit to doing a little each day, I'm convinced that the population of eternity in heaven is going to look different. And God ordained it that way, that we would be a part of His work to grow His family. We've got a lot of work to do. So thank you for locking arms with us. We love you to pieces, and look forward to keeping you updated as we can. And thank you for putting up with this video. I probably look and sound so tired, because I am, but it's all good. I wanted to update you, so I did. Love you. Talk to you soon.